One for Arthur or Corach Rambler.
Oh, you can't do that.
Brutal, isn't it? It's actually really horrible. So who plays the pair of you in a film?
I think...
When the film gets made, obviously. Who is the most famous person you've ever met?
You will never, ever guess this one.
Scudamore, McCoy and Geraghty are locked in battle with 50 yards to go. Who wins? Here he is. Hi.
Hello.
How's it going?
Here is the mighty Corach Rambler.
Ah, not every day you get to just hop on the plane and come and see a Grand National winner. He looks $1 million. I've got a ton of questions for you. I fancy we're going to be moving fast here. How's he enjoying his retirement? Is he actually retired?
No, he absolutely loves it. We did contemplate entering him this spring, but look, he's having a great time. He leads the schooling. He canters every day, and he enjoys it. He's doing the odd public appearances, but he's very happy in retirement.
And what's life like for you and Scu post Corach Rambler?
I suppose the pressure's slightly off because he's not racing, and we do use him a lot as a therapy horse. We go up and tell him about other horses and how things are going and how we're getting on. But yeah, no, it's probably a lot more easy knowing that he's very safe with us.
How does it feel not having a runner in the Grand National this year?
It is really odd, actually. I'm quite jealous of the trainers that do, but look, we'll have one hopefully next year.
You need somewhere to put some more trophies. That's where they're kept, isn't it? Just
yes,
behind us there.
They're all kept there. There's a table of Corach Rambler trophies on there as well.
There's so much going on here. It's such a busy working yard. Horses coming at you from every angle. You've got so much to manage as well. I know you're brilliant at managing the horses, and you were particularly brilliant at managing this one. What about the owners and the jockeys? Which is easier to manage?
I'd say, well, actually, I don't tend to always manage the jockeys, so I leave that to Scu, I tend to let him manage the jockeys. I do a lot of the owner contact, and they're fine. Get them trained.
We always said, I remember coming up here 18 months ago, and you were talking about maybe winning a Gold Cup with this horse. You still haven't won a Gold Cup, but what is the ultimate, Gold Cup or Grand National?
I love the National. I'd love to win 3 Nationals, but crikey, the Gold Cup would be great as well. Can I have both?
You can have as much as you want. I mean, can you try and sum up the essence of winning a Grand National for me? What that actually feels like, as someone who's put all the graft in, all the preparation, brought all this team together?
It's just phenomenal. It's funny because on the day, you don't appreciate the enormity of it. And it's only afterwards when you watch the replays that you realise how big it is.
Everyone knows it's a slightly different race to what it was. You won it in 17 with Arthur, you won it with this guy. What do you prefer, an old school national or a modern national?
I think the modern national is safer, and I think that's probably right. So I'll go with the modern national. It's still a big test.
One for Arthur or Corach Rambler?
Oh, you can't do that.
Brutal, isn't it? It's actually really horrible.
I suppose Corach Rambler's in our heart. He's part of our family. One for Arthur, it was a tremendous horse and very much a very brave horse, and probably the one that taught me how to train.
If you had to choose one jockey, past or present, to win a race to save your life, who would it be? Think carefully.
I might have to say Scu. Should I say Scu then?
Do you know, but I actually think it's a good answer.
Yeah. No, he was. I mean, I watched the videos, and he was phenomenally strong. So yeah, I'll go for Scu.
I never saw Scu have any nerves when he was riding, but I've seen him have nerves at the start of a race when he's training them, or training them with you at the start of a race. What's your overriding emotion when you see your horse down at the tape?
Fear, I suppose. Fear of the unknown, because it's out of my control. So it's out of my control. I have to put full faith in the horse and the other horses around him. Okay,
it's a slightly leading question, this, as I'm walking this way. If there's a future Grand National winner in the yard, who might it be?
Well, I don't know about Grand National, but this is a Cotter or Myretown. He is.
Hang on, what's the stable name?
The stable name's Cotter. So
Cotter.
Cotter. That was the man that originally owned him. Was called Cotter, and his run at Cheltenham has just elevated him up to the top of our horses.
What race is he winning at Cheltenham next year?
I hope the Gold Cup. How cool would that be?
That would be amazing. Do you think he could improve that much?
Yes. I mean, we'll have to run him. He's got the season to go before that, so he'll go to Newbury and go in the Coral Gold Cup and see how that gets on.
And actually, given the inexperience that he had going into Cheltenham, How much did he surprise you doing what he did, just leading all the way, blitzing them like that?
Oh, he totally surprised me. I mean, I was worried about his jumping. I didn't know that he had the experience, but then I didn't know Paddy had the experience either. But he was phenomenal.
He's turned his back on us now. Is he a nice person?
Yes, yeah, he's a bit odd, just a bit like Ahoy Senor. They just have a sort of different side to their personalities.
All right, we're going to see him in a minute. Oh, grumpy Ahoy Senor. He's next on our list. If you could only be around humans or horses, which would you choose?
Oh, horses.
Every day of the week?
Every day of the week.
How come?
Because I just respect them so much. They're so lovely, gentle, strong, brave, everything about them.
And have you always been here since you were a little girl?
Yeah, we moved here when I was 13, so I kind of grew up here. I just always wanted to have my own pony. My dream was to look out of my window and see my pony in the field, and that happened in 13, so ideal.
What's the one great attribute every trainer has to have?
Oh, they just have to love horses.
Okay, and what's the hardest thing about being a trainer?
I guess the weather and the things that you can't control. So if you particularly want soft ground and there's no rain, that's really irritating.
I thought you were going to say the hardest thing about being a trainer is Ahoy Senor.
No, it's just a shame that he keeps slipping on landing and falling. But he doesn't always do it. Look, he deserves a Gold Cup.
How is Ahoy Senor after his fall at Cheltenham?
Yeah, he's absolutely perfect. He always comes to himself at this time of year, so we're going forward to Aintree with optimism. Okay,
Aintree, Sefton Novices Hurdle as a novice hurdler, 66-1. Mildmay Novices Chase as novice chaser. He won, and then he's been second in the last two bowls. Can he go one better this time?
I think so. I mean, I think we had him better than we'd ever had him before Cheltenham, so hopefully we can take that on to Aintree.
Okay, why is he called Hank?
It was Hank's the name of a country and western singer who the breeder knows very well, and we just had to keep his name.
Okay, well, he looks in good shape, and fingers crossed for the bowl at Aintree. If you weren't here, and I know this is everything to you, it's a place that's completely in your heart and has been since you were born, pretty much. Where else would you like to be?
I don't know. It'd have to be somewhere in Scotland because maybe the Borders. Yeah.
Okay, and what is it about the Borders that you love?
I love Scotland and the Borders because it's really windy as we come out here. It's very good for lung health for horses.
Most important question of the day, particularly on a day like this: whiskey or wine?
Ooh, well, obviously I've got to say whiskey because we have Glengoyne.
Whiskey is pretty much funding the whole establishment and has done, hasn't it?
Everything you see here is funded by whiskey. So, although actually I don't drink it. So
what were your brands of whiskey?
Glengoyne, Rosebank and Tamdhu.
Which is the nicest?
Rosebank.
Okay, because that's made the most money.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you a wine drinker?
Yes.
Red or white?
Red and rosé, not white.
Not rosé on today, obviously.
No.
If you wanted a trainer, what would you do?
Sell gin.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Who's the greatest trainer of all time?
Nicky Henderson.
Not Willie Mullins?
No, I think Nicky has managed to, he's been doing it for a long time and he changes. You know, he's still up there.
Okay. Should Willie Mullins have been allowed to run 11 horses in the Triumph Hurdle?
Yes, I think we have to try harder and find our own horses to run in the Triumph Hurdle.
Okay, and if you could have trained one horse past or present who is not yours, which one would it be?
Past or present, probably Cato Star.
All right, and outside racing, favourite sporting moment of all time?
The Lions winning.
Who is the most famous person you've ever met?
You will never, ever guess this one. We went to lunch in Mallorca and we had lunch with Frida from ABBA.
Frida from ABBA?
She is the most wonderful person.
And she's the most famous person you've ever met?
Yeah, we went through it actually after we'd had lunch with Frida and we decided that a lot of people have met the royal family, but Frida from ABBA, yeah.
What's the most starstruck you've ever been? Think about this carefully.
I once did meet the Queen and I shook hands with her and I didn't know what to say. I just stood there nodding. This is the most starstruck I've ever been. Look who it is.
He can tell that and lie.
It's true. I mean, you know, in 1992, it would have been the most starstruck I'd ever been.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Time changes everything.
I got a taxi here this morning. I said, I'm going to Lucinda Russell. He had no idea you two were together. And he said, well, when I got into racing, it was all about Martin Pipe and Peter Scudamore. I said, it still is today.
Well, that's a long time ago.
Right, well, I'd like to stop and chat, but Lucinda and I are on the move here, and I've got a lot more questions to get through. So who plays the pair of you in a film?
I think...
When the film gets made, obviously.
So, shall I choose you? You could be Roger Moore. Roger Moore could play you, please. Dreams, reality.
And
She
who,
only says that because her mother always says that her father looked like Roger Moore. The lady that was in Out of Africa can play you.
oh, you mean Meryl Streep?
I had a farm in Fife.
The likeness is uncanny. I mean, it was the first thing that popped into my head. Okay, what is Lucinda's greatest strength?
Michael and I.
And one thing the public doesn't know about Lucinda Russell.
Oh, she's a bad-tempered cow, I tell you. She's jealous, bad-tempered.
I'm glad I'm standing between you.
Well, actually, I think the public do know that. It's something that they don't know.
And what about one thing that the public don't know about Peter Scudamore?
He's actually a really soft, nice person, even though a lot of people think he's really tough and horrible.
I hope you're feeling really guilty now. You should do. Who's your favourite Scottish person of all time, dead or alive?
Billy Connolly, because he made me laugh, and I just think his humour was great.
Okay. All right, I don't suppose you two get much time to watch TV or films, but what's the last TV series you binged?
This is so sad.
Can we really tell people this? MASH, which is about...
yeah, I've heard of MASH.
Yeah, it's about a hospital thing. It's absolutely brilliant, and we watch it every night and then we go to bed.
What about film? Favourite film?
Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia, yeah, no, we like that.
The ABBA theme is running hot.
It
here.
is,
No,
it
but we
is.
did it.
running
I would
hot.
say that. I think we never go to the cinema. We watched it on a plane, didn't we?
Yeah, we did actually.
All right, is this the same thing? Favourite musical artist then? It's not ABBA again, surely.
Ooh.
No, we'll go. Well, she likes the Saw Doctors. We went to see the Saw Doctors in Nairn in our camper van, and it was quite an adventure anyway.
Well, I haven't found a camper van, but this is the van that's going to take us to the Gallops. Are you our chauffeur, Scu?
No, Lucy's chauffeuring. I'll leave you. I'll go and do some work. Somebody has to do some work around here. You go and play up in the Gallops.
All right, glorious cameo. Thanks ever so much. Cheers. Right, here we go. The dog's getting in. Dog's coming.
No dogs.
No dogs. No dogs allowed.
can go with... Oh no, dogs are always allowed.
Right, so we ditched Scu. He didn't want to give us a lift up here. I enjoyed his cameo though. I thought it was excellent. What's the secret to yours and Scu's partnership, sort of professional and personal?
Oh, it has to be just respect. I think the thing is, look, I respect him hugely as a jockey, and I respect his decisions about most things.
What is the tastiest Scottish delicacy?
Whisky?
Well, obviously, of course. Not deep-fried Mars bars, no?
No, I have to say maybe our diet isn't the best up here all the time, but yeah, no, whisky's the best thing.
OK, what have we got next? Which Scottish stereotype is most accurate?
Having a ridiculous sense of humour and laughing at crazy things.
OK, you'll enjoy this one. Which is the least accurate?
Being miserable all the time. We're not actually miserable all the time.
And you're not mean either.
Oh, we're not mean.
No, there you are. Pillar to post or come with a wet sail?
Pillar to post.
Never mind wet sail, you'd fill the sails on a day like this, wouldn't you?
I know, I have to say it's pretty windy. Everyone moans about my hair and why don't I style it? Well, this is why, because it gets styled naturally.
Some view.
It is beautiful, isn't it? I'm very lucky to live here.
I mean, most people would say they'd like to visit somewhere like this. If there was one race course in the world or racetrack in the world you'd like to visit, what would it be?
I just really like Aintree, actually. I like the people there. So,
You're on message.
I'm quite happy to, just stay at home.
What's the one thing you'd change about racing?
I try and stop people arguing and having a them and us feeling. I felt that so hugely about those Cheltenham starts. You know, they were just penalising the jockeys. What they should be doing is saying to the jockeys, how can we help? How can we change this?
Will the whip still be in use in 2035?
Yes, it has to be for control. I don't know whether they'll be allowed to use it to make horses try and go faster. I don't know, but they'll still be carrying them.
When did you know you would be a racehorse trainer?
As a little kid, I watched Red Rum in the 1973 Grand National and thought, gosh, that would be amazing to be part of that.
Okay, it was always trainer. It wasn't, I want to ride round there or whatever. It was always trainer.
Never wanted to be a jockey, no. Always wanted to train them and just be with them.
If you could swap your career, oh, this is a tough one. If you could swap your career with another trainer, who would it be?
That's a really difficult one. I'll go with Willie Mullins because he has some beautiful horses to train.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people who would want to swap their career with yours.
Yeah, well, yes. What, with Scu as well?
Pass. Right. Who's the greatest sports person of all time?
Peter Scudamore.
Yes,
he is remarkable.
is the correct answer. What's your biggest hobby outside racing?
Watching MASH. No, but listening to the birds. I've got one of those apps that tells you which birds are singing. So that's a skylark up there just now.
Beautiful. Scudamore, McCoy and Geraghty are locked in battle with 50 yards to go. Who wins?
Yeah, I think Scudamore would, because he can use the whip as many times as he wants.
What's one thing about your career you'd change?
I would have got a lot more professional a lot sooner. I took things very relaxed when I first started training. Everything was a bit of a joke, but yeah, no, I think I'd have got serious a bit sooner.
All right, what does professional mean in this context? In that context?
In that context, very strong routine and yeah. Yeah, okay, so since Scu arrived, it's got a lot more professional.
Okay, just more rigour.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the sporting achievement you're most proud of? Single sporting achievement you're most proud of?
The first Grand National win, because that was with friends of mine owned the horse, and we bought the horse together and we planned it all, and yeah, it was phenomenal.
And was it harder for him to win the Grand National than it was for Corach Rambler?
I suppose Corach was probably more true horse, but no, I don't think so, because it just really matched One for Arthur's everything about him. You know, he could sit out the back. He was very brave, jumped really well. So yeah, no, I'd say he was probably more of the Grand National horse than Corach.
All right, this might be the same. What's one moment from your career you would love to relive?
Actually, no, I'll go back further than that. My first winner, because that was just fantastic. That was just the naivety of Fively Builds at Perth in 1995. Gosh, that's 30 years ago.
A while ago, I remember it quite well. What's the one thing you'd still like to achieve in racing you haven't already?
I'd like to win another Grand National, and I'd quite like to win a Gold Cup as well. Can I do that both?
You can, but the fact that you said another Grand National first tells me an awful lot.
Yeah, no, I think that would be, I quite like making history.
Any of these going to make history?
Yeah, well, Ahoy Senor is in there. No, he isn't. Yes, he is. There he is.
You don't see many people cantering horses downhill.
Yeah, it's really good. It gets your core muscles. If you try running downhill, it's good for you.
Shall I give it a go?
Yeah.
See how we get on. Bye!